traveling has never.
Looking for the perfect home away from home in the Gambia? Welcome to BC's Residence, your ideal short stay apartment in the heart of Bundum. Whether you're visiting for business, pleasure, or an extended stay, BC's Residence offers you the comfort, convenience, and privacy you deserve. Enjoy spacious, well-appointed accommodations in a peaceful neighborhood just behind Nusrat High School. Our residence combines modern amenities with authentic Gambian hospitality, ensuring your stay is both comfortable and memorable. At BC's Residence, you are not just booking a room, you're finding your perfect base to explore all that the Gambia has to offer. Ready to book your stay? Contact us today. +220-941414 bcsresidence@gmail.com. BC's Residence, Bundum, behind Nusrat High School. Your comfort is our priority.
In the Gambia. Oh yes, you don't need to visit the GTSC depot just to get a ticket. Just download the Yona Wallet app today and enjoy hassle-free bookings. With Yona Wallet, you can buy your GTSC bus ticket right from your phone, anytime, anywhere. From Kanifing to Dakar, Dakar to Banjul, or upcountry routes like Kanifing to Basse and Basse to Banjul, Yona Wallet has you covered. No queues, no stress. Just safe, fast, and convenient ticketing at your fingertips. Choose comfort. Choose convenience. Choose GTSC with Yona Wallet. Yona Wallet. Your money, your way. GTSC. Moving the nation forward. For more information, please call 1124 or 221-1668.
Jamano Money Transfer Bureau de Change, your go-to option when it comes to money transfer. With Jamano, you can send money from anywhere in the world to your family and loved ones in the Gambia and be sure the funds will be delivered to them within the shortest time possible. For your convenience, funds sent through Jamano Money Transfer can be picked from all the banks and multiple other financial institutions, including Ajib Bank, Trust Bank, GT Bank, Mega Bank, Basic Bank, Reliance Financial Services, and Approved Services. Visit our head office at Bruceby opposite AfricMed next to Trust Bank Limited or email us at info@jamanomt.com. You can as well call us on 310-3050 or 310-3051 or yet still 733-0688. Our opening hours are 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday to Saturday and 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Sunday. Jamano Money Transfer, your most trusted money transfer service where customer satisfaction is paramount. When you think of a simple, fast, and reliable money transfer, think Jamano Money Transfer.
Agada.
Mbijan aganya.
Albaka.
Mbaka important.
Yo, nga transfer la sto.
Ya transfer la.
Ha, code nyingi.
Okay. What's Nsila ID soto.
Ah, sasa ndo. Sorry. Agada.
Mbijan bro.
Albaka.
Mbaka.
Bara alla service o tariaka.
Ah,
mbare. Mo ki janna nun kunu bara tariaka.
Jannom yona forest de bureau Gambia tonkon na no mbali ya bere ha birin ko na fo kato
bari si kodo kino kato ni fo bolon blabe
56 branches mo la sota Gambia ja
ha
Gambia kono ani Gambia bantala bankol nko kodo ki ya bere kodo sifa fo falindiro fo nyaadi lafta même na kodi topoto ni kodi maraw jannam number 1 di nyonta andum fana nata anoda enterprise sotale wolam nyindi ko domorol fana kol fana be firale de dadi mani domorol dil fana be teata Gambia dawda yalo ngam fa kendol sotale je
wo moyo diat
apelenta
baraka ni ma lafta nyelan kendol e bina
yalo bu kanila ko la baraka ba
yalo ndel ciosano lo
baraka. Hello and welcome to the brunch on Ketfatu. I am Lamin Chan. Welcome to our weekly look at current affairs in the Gambia over the last 7 days, of course. Well, last week we had in the studio diplomats from our various missions. We had one from the United Kingdom and another from Spain discussing the daily issues that occurs when they report to office among the Gambian community in their area. Today, I'm pleased to bring in members of the Gambian diaspora across the Atlantic. One from the United Kingdom and another from the United States of America. Sarjo Gassama is in the UK and Yankuba Sawaneh is from the United States of America. Gentlemen, welcome to the brunch.
Thank you, Mr. Chan, for having me.
Good. Yankuba, let me begin with you. First of all, where do you come from in Ghana?
Originally from Basse. Yes. Yes.
When people from URR are often accused of saying Basse, when they actually mean a tiny village somewhere near Basse.
Well, actually from Chamwe village.
Chamwe.
Yes.
I'm right.
Yes.
So you're from Chamwe. Yes. That's where the famous bridge used to be.
Exactly.
Chamwe.
The Chamwe bridge.
Okay, all right. Okay, so from Chamwe.
Yes.
When did you migrate to the United States?
I migrated to the United States. That was in 2001.
Wow, it's 24.
Yes, about that. In 2001, and actually arrived in a very small town. That was a farming town. It's called Iowa. During presidential elections. Yes, that one of the the caucus. That's one of the famous places. During presidential elections. So I arrived in a small farming town. The city is called Des Moines, and I was there for a while. Just as it is, it was a very small, and then it gets snow a lot. The climate was not really too favorable to me coming from Gambia. So yes, and then I was there for about 6 to about 8 months to a year. Then I relocated. Yes, to a warmer place, which is Arizona.
Arizona. Okay.
Yes, and then I have moved to different places, Mr. Chan, within the United States itself. I live in Minnesota for a while, and then it was too cold again. Then I moved to Florida.
So you will run away from Florida.
All the way to Florida. It's warmer, and then Atlanta has been the base now, through my job. And Atlanta doesn't get a whole lot of colds or get snow. It gets snow maybe once during the season. So it's really where you can have a better warmer season and then a cold season, but you are in between. They are not really like places like the previous places that I live.
Now
so I'm
right
like,
place.
This is the right place.
And is that
called? Yes,
that's been so many years.
Well, I moved here in 2014.
Wow.
Yes, but it has been really, really great place for me. It's very diverse.
You live in the
Yes.
state capital, Georgia.
Yeah, I live in Atlanta City itself.
Oh, the city.
The city of Atlanta.
Oh, that's
Georgia.
that's the state capital.
That's yes.
Okay.
Yes. So but it has been a great place, a great community, Gambian community, and a very diverse community.
I was going to
Yes.
ask about how diverse the Gambian community there. Gambian.
Yes, yes. You know, if you can recall, Atlanta has been one of those cities that every year Gambians have the July 4th celebration.
Has it been expanded to Senegambia something?
Yes, where we have the Gambians, the Senegal community, but it has always been like that.
Yeah.
And then we'll have Gambians come all across the country to be able to attend that. So it's a big festival, it's a big activities, and it has been really to bring Gambians together. For us to know our culture, bring the kids out and everybody. So it has really been amazing.
Yeah.
I love it. A lot of opportunities.
All right. Given that you, as a Gambian living in diaspora, must be following Gambian affairs lots.
Yes, I do.
Yes. So, from the perspective of diaspora, how do you see the Gambia? What do you often hear if you read newspapers from the Gambia or social media postings? How do you perceive the country in terms of economic realities, political realities, education system? Everything that's out there with you following from afar.
Sure. I mean, recently, the Gambia, we live in the diaspora as Gambians. It has been where, the most common things that we have been here is the cost of living and the migration issue. For us living in the diaspora, we all have families that definitely depends on folks that live in the diaspora, including myself. So, the cost of living is really, really one of the keys, and the migration issue has been a main concern. Gambians and Gambians youth were losing a lot of young Gambians through this migration, which they call the back way. That has been discussed a lot within the Gambians community in the diaspora or in the US. And then the cost of living has also been, I have experienced it myself, just living here. The moment you change the dollars, it's like, it's gone.
Okay.
So when it comes to the politics itself, I mean, generally it's just, how better, the country resources could be managed and how the resources should be directed to help with the challenges that Gambians are facing. And, so there's so many opportunities that needs to help our resources, the little resources that we are getting as a country to be able to help with the cost of living, and then how the current government should definitely do something about it, because as we said again, for us being in the diaspora for that long, being here, before we actually travel to the diaspora, we know how living were, during our school days when we were young, and then now seeing how everything is heading. Coming to Gambia, we have seen some development when it comes to infrastructures, but at the same time, the dependency on diaspora has been really, really heavy. And but I could just imagine if you have a family that doesn't have any relative in the diaspora, how would those people really survive the daily struggle? So yes, but so far so good. Generally, that's really what are the conversations that we have. Then heading into the 2026 election,
we will come
that is coming ahead. So
let's get a picture from the United Kingdom and see.
Thank you.
Gassama, where do you come from in this country?
I am from Nyamena Dankunku, but I am also from Farato. I am also from Badibu Njabakunda. Well, obviously, you can see originally.
Where are you origins from? Dankunku?
No, Badibu Njabakunda. Originally, that's where my parents came from, and I was born in Dankungu.
Okay.
Then we were in Farato since the 40s.
Okay.
Yeah. So
not really shade anywhere. Not
well, it's our family.
Okay, the family.
From your grandparents, and it comes down to your
right.
parents, and it goes. This way, they normally say that why is your roots? But again, that's why I told you I have different roots. So I was brought up in Banjul, and then later on, 1992, we moved down to Bundu.
Okay.
So that's where I was. I was between Bundu and my sister.
When did you migrate to the United Kingdom?
I left the Gambia in 2006. And went to UK.
Okay.
And so from
that's already been
20
years.
Yes. And I remember you and I were always in Barking.
Yeah. When I was there, we go to East London a lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I have been living in the UK with my family, and I've also got extended family members, friends. And when I arrived in the UK, I was living in London. That's where I'm doing most of my studies. Then around 2009, 10, the company I was working for, they need somebody to be one of the sites in the West Midlands, in Telford Central. So they contacted me to say that we learned that he had interest of going to the Midland Tri-City. He said, okay, we've got a place there. We will give you a bed. We will give you everything for you to be there, because that particular company was on a court order to be closed down, but somebody should be responsible. So that is how I managed to move to the Midlands. So I was staying in Birmingham. With my family.
That's the capital of the Midlands. They call it Black Country.
Yeah. So later on, I moved down to Walsall.
Walsall.
Yeah, it's next to Birmingham.
Yeah.
So it's a small borough, not as well. It can. Birmingham is far bigger than that. So, but it's predominantly white people and stuff. So, until today, that's where I am.
Okay. We heard from an American resident in America, how from Atlanta, he was able to show Gambian diaspora how their daily lives and their activities and cultures. Last week, we heard from Deputy High Commissioner Sunto about some of the issues that happen, that they come across in their mission. In the UK, from your perspective, and then looking over the Gambia, what are the issues that UK people are concerned about Gambia every day?
Yeah, the concern that we have is what we saw every on the news, like security concern, and also the corruption in the Gambia and poverty. These are the main kind of issues that everybody faces, particularly either from the society you belong to or from your immediate family, because they keep calling you and telling you, you need to do X, Y, and Z. When the market price goes up, they want you to subsidize that gap that you've been sending. If you send in £100, they will want you to send £120, as these guys are. So anything that happens in the Gambia, it has impact on us, but the effect is trickle down on us. So we feel it. We have to restrain our budget in such a way we will accommodate the cost of living here in the Gambia, as he said. I believe the Gambia government is not doing enough to be able to make this country develop, because the perspective that I can see people saying, it's building roads and stuff. But again, to me, if you are able to address the cost of living, people have a sustainable livelihood, then the rest, you can do them gradually. People will not have any complaint. But poverty that is affecting the Gambia is coming down to everybody in the diaspora who has a family or extended family members here. So that's why you can see, I can understand why people want to go through back way and risk their life, because that's the way they want to
talk a lot about that.
Yeah. So also security issue, because if you read areas like What's on Gambia or other media outlet, they report that a lady was stabbed to death.
Just at the corner here.
Exactly.
At
so you tend to wonder what is going on in that small tiny country. Who are the one responsible for this? Although you can see the police are making some effort, but again, we believe that the Gambia government is not investing in the security sector to be able to protect everyone in this country. It has to deal with also your immigration policy, because the kind of people coming into this country, we don't know them. I'm not trying to be a bit anti-immigrant, but I am an immigrant by myself. But the kind of people coming here, what are they contributing here? Nothing. They only live here, they mobilize our people who are jobless. They go and they rob people at a knife point.
But you think the government, what can they do about it?
They
free movement of people in ECOWAS countries, they can send people back.
No. But again, the people coming into, that's why they introduced alien card, which we noticed that they have reduced the fee for them to allow them to pump in here, and they are not reducing the fee, national ID card fee for the Gambian people who are natives here, but they can do it for the foreigners. So you can see how irresponsible this government becomes.
Oh yeah.
If you cannot look after your own people, you can look after the foreigners, then who should trust you? No one.
But the government can argue that, okay, we, as a member of the ECOWAS state, we cannot be hostile to.
No. But again, your home matters first. Charity begins at home. Because we are your immediate concern, and you need to look after us first before outsiders. Because if you are unable to look after your family, you want to appease the outsiders, then there is something fundamentally question about you. So,
security, you think?
Yeah, security. There's not much been done. There could have been community security in which the police and stuff. You build in all these police stations. I feel it's futile. It's just not worth it. But deploy the police in the street and then create an early warning system.
But
whereby
if you are talking about crime, you should have no trouble in the amount of police stations being built.
No. Police station. The police station they build in the community is mainly to tell the community people, get something. Have a problem and come and report each other to the police station.
Police also serve as deterrents.
No,
deterrents. I mean, criminals know that police are all about every time.
No, if you look within our setup, let's say what happened in Dalaba. Dalaba, they used to have these dangerous robots, including a woman who was there. But what they do is, police, despite everything, they were not able to stop them until the community has to rise up and do something about it.
Oh, you mean they should work with the community?
Yes. Even in the UK, if you looked at it, Conservative government, when they came in, they closed most of these police. There's no police station there now.
Hardly, huh?
Yes, because the one in Periba, I passed there, I said,
that's in Bami.
Yes. I immediately walked in there, I said, okay, I was asking for somebody because one of my colleagues used to work. They say, oh no, this place no longer serves as a police station. They build a custody block. If you're arrested, you're taken there, you are processed within 72 hours and arraigned before the court. If your court can either release you or what they're investigating about you, they don't find it, and then they release you, pending further investigation.
So you mean the traditional way of getting to the police station, report Sarjo Gassama or report crime, it's not like...
No. UK, in fact, started selling most of their police station assets.
Really?
Yes.
So how do they police them?
No, they do community policing. It's simple. They recruit more community police officers. You can see them visibly. They are present so many places. That alone is a deterrent, because what happened if you have a community, and then they also got some sort of like a kind of a call 911.
Yes.
And then immediately when they radio, they can find that there is a police officer patrol team around 200 meters, 100 meters away. They can immediately respond before the police.
So the response system, that's another issue.
Exactly.
It's more effective there.
So you don't educate the public to tell them that, okay, if you feel been targeted, or you feel your home will be robbed, this is the number you will call. People don't know the number they will call. And you go to the police station, you tell them that, I suspected somebody has broken into my... They say, oh, okay, we will respond. But they will never respond. I personally witnessed it. I spoke to a police officer. They confessed to me and said, these people are very dangerous. We don't want to risk our lives and go after them.
In Gambia?
In the Gambia.
But if you're talking about standards, you can't compare UK standards.
No, but again, we all have to meet that. We are a community, Jam. We know each other, we love each other, and then our duty is to protect each other. We don't have to behave like a UK police or American police, but we can behave in our own standard, whereby you can educate the public and then say, look, the safety of your neighbor is your safety, and then let's work together. If you hear all about this intelligence is not about they put a satellite in your pocket to know where you are and stuff. It's the tip from the public. That's where they gather their intelligence, mostly in the community.
So like they would say here, everybody should be a policeman.
Exactly. So that's why how the Western intelligence work.
Okay. You talk about economics. How much is the pound now?
The pound, it depends.
When you came, the pound was how?
96.
96?
No, 97. Then it goes down 96. And then, but if you use the local, this money transfers, like APN, EI, UNA, the exchange is 90.
90.
I said before.
So what brings you to 96? Speculation and how to call it?
Well, the dollar is very weak.
Black market.
Yes. The black market, because then if you look at the international money transfer, the rate there, when the day I stepped in, it was $109 to a pound.
Black market.
Yes. So suddenly it came down 96. But if you ask these local money transfers here, they exchange it to you 96. So the difference is there, that's what they take as their profit. So the money transfer that you do online, they do it 90. So the difference is that's what they take. They're also looking for profit. But again, the problem is dollar is so weak.
And that has to do with all the tricks we talk about our economy. We are not importing much, and we are not exporting. We are importing.
Yeah, that is the problem. That's why I said that this government, they have no ambition, they have no vision, because this country is just like this cruiser. You can take it and put it in your pocket to develop. It's not difficult. Invest in agriculture.
But how? If it's not difficult, how?
No, this is in what?
We could not.
Yeah, because of the selfishness and lack of vision. This is the problem. You have selfish people who are the hunter of power. They don't think about anything because the incentive there, that's what they feel that they're enjoying. But they're happy the status quo to remain the same so that they can improve with the rest of the population, because that's the way they will get them for their own political interests. But this country, invest in, go to China, build industries here. Why do we have to import oil, cooking oil? We can do it here. I remember in the 80s.
We used to get it in groundnut, but our groundnut trade has come down.
No, it's not only groundnut, it's sesame as well.
Sesame, yes.
Under their vegetable soil now, we can do quite a lot. And then
government should invest in those.
Yes, and ring-fence our market to say that we don't mind Cham can bring in oil, but the taxes will be on your oil, will be much more higher for you to be able to sell it compared to the domestic one.
Domestic market.
Then you will see those who are importing oil in, they will have to rely on.
But isn't that what the government faces in the cement industry? I mean, they put a heavy tax on cement. People bring cement from elsewhere, and people are crying.
No. What they fail to understand, you look at the demand for cement and the capacity who you are fencing are able to meet the demand, the domestic demand. If you take jar oil cannot meet the, let's say, the building industry demand for cement.
Okay, now the government there, we are talking about government. You're talking about encouraging domestic production.
Yeah.
And you said that, okay, perhaps if we start doing our own oil here, the people importing oil from elsewhere should face strict restrictions in terms of heavy tax, so that they would be discouraged from bringing in, and the domestic producers will have money.
I think that's how free market.
I'm trying to say that the government tried to do that with the cement, and there was an outcry that the government is protecting.
No, these are. But
I'm trying to the example.
Let me give you.
I'm talking about issues that government face when it comes to be to come up with protective. What do you call protectivism? To try to protect
it.
If you look at.
But now listen now. We are still on the same. You said, if we import all the time and don't export anything, that's where our dollarship comes under pressure.
Yep.
That's it. So we identify in areas that you think we could to be able to import.
Exactly.
Okay, somebody can argue that we used to have re-export trade here, where people from West African region come here because the port's charges are cheaper, and then they declare that these are goods in transit, when actually they come and sell it.
Yeah.
And then the price becomes cheaper for us Gambians, but they are not paying tax, and the government is losing tax. So
the re-export rate on the Jawara, people are paying tax, like Mali. No, but again, the problem was Jawara was able to build the Gambian economy as part of re-export rate, because Mali, Guinea-Bissau, even Guinea-Conakry, Mauritania, and Senegal, most of their market is in the Gambia. So we have a huge customer demand base.
I know, but
now, because they know that after Jawara left,
yes,
the subsequent government that follows are not serious in terms of, you cannot rely on somebody who is not serious and not reliable. So that's why they have to also create something for themselves, and then forget about the export trade. Kaur port used to be a port for the export trade, and most of these port in a small port area. But how do we abandon all these people?
We are going to come, because the government has engaged in a major investor.
Like you said about the cement.
We'll come to that now. Let's go back to America. Is there any lessons in terms of economic development, or at least to stabilize, or let's say reduce these economic hardships that the Gambia is suffering. Is there any lessons we can draw from America?
Well, I will definitely come to that, but there was very key important area that Mr. Gassama just mentioned during his, introduction, which is the security. Yes, it's I just realized how important it is for us to be able to focus and really look into the security of this country. There's few things that I just realized when it comes to identification. Okay, if we having visitors coming to this country, whether they will be residing in this country, they stay in this country as a permanent resident, most of these individuals, they are not properly identified. They will come to this country, they will stay in this country without proper identification, even though we have what they call the permit.
Yeah, the
aliens.
Yeah, aliens and permit.
Yes, just recently I was looking into sometimes I follow regional politics. In Sierra Leone, for example, I saw where they have one of their star player, one of the star football star that came to Sierra Leone, was helping the immigration to do marketing for every individual Sierra Leoneans to go over and get a identification. The same thing with the permanent resident. So how are we going to be able to identify folks? If you're in this country, you don't have a proper identification.
They do have
and if you are not, but as I said again, they have the aliens card, but how many Gambians have an identification card?
Themselves, wow.
Exactly. So first of all, the opportunities that happens within the US, the moment you enter in the country, you are identified in a way that is very easy to find you, to identify you, to trace you. That is really one of the most important areas to be able to trace,
but it's
create crime, and mitigate.
It can be said that it's much easier to trace some.
Exactly.
Because of the advanced stage.
Yes.
And the organizational level of the society there.
But Mr. Chan, we can...
Even our own register today, if I ask you, Chamwe, if you say Chamwe, where is Cham? If I want to post a letter to Chamwe, you give it to the Bantaban.
You're definitely right.
Bantaban, and you don't have the numbers.
Yes, but we can start this gradually, making sure that all Gambians have access to identity card to be able to identify. I follow a few stories where somebody will pass. They are sending information around through media houses. Hey, can somebody identify this individual? Why? Because that person doesn't have an ID. So I think there's an area where we should start from to be able to make sure that all Gambians have an identity. As Mr. Gassama said, at the same time again, everybody coming to this country are also properly screen and process and be able to have a proper identity when they're coming in, when they're supposed to leave, or where they're gonna leave at. But sometimes, as we all know, that can be an easy pass through immigration just by paying money without actually following through that. And a few other things that I have learned that we just saw on the media, it's really about folks that been here, our own Gambians, most of them, they don't have an ID. People are still waiting.
Yes.
This is a simple common document. Instead they give you like a receipt and that's the end of it.
Because of
if you really wanted to tackle security, it starts from being able to identify people and be able to stop somebody and ask them, where's your ID card? Where are you heading to? Then that part of it will be able to identify those who are here illegally or those who are, to be able to identify criminal.
I see.
But if we don't focus on that, and these are really, really simple things that the government should be able to do, because just recently I heard that they were issuing ID to different countries. Gambians living in the diaspora somewhere. Could you imagine? Yes. As my brother said here, recently I saw on WhatsApp Gambia where they went to the immigration. You see how crazy it was. Just people that were there to be able to secure a passport. So Mr. Cham, definitely, these are really, really some of the area our government should invest in, and then be able to, that will help with crime, that will help to identify individuals and be able to progress. in our security sectors.
Exactly.
I know your question was about the economy.
There are some good lessons we can learn from economy in terms of improving the living conditions.
I mean, you know, coming from the US, I know if you could remember, there was a time when the current government, actually increased some of the tariffs, some of the, you know, imports and export. So right there, people were thinking about, oh, the egg, you know, eggs prices are up because those are really common food that, you know, breakfast,
essential.
when it comes, it's very essential, some of the essential items. But Mr. Cham, I could tell you within a short period of time, that was taken care of right away. I could remember that it doesn't last for like a month. Because the whole scene was like, oh, the current government is increasing the tariff on another taxes on another countries to increase that. But that's a priority because the government over there really, really care about people's welfare, the ordinary American citizens. So based on what Mr. Gassama was saying, these are some of the areas we have. When we were growing up in this country, we know some of the infrastructure. Just a few days ago, I traveled around the phone and somebody was telling me, hey, you know, this area was where they used to bring the groundnut and then they get it processed and then they do the purchases. But those buildings, those are government buildings. They are all, yes. You know, so those buildings are all warehouse. You know, so, you know, I remember when we were growing up, we see even the cutting. The cutting. I remember they used to have these green big trucks that carry the cutting with some extent. So these were really built to be able to support.
Diversify
that area.
Our economy.
Okay, so these are all gone. I mean, you know, I know most of these were taken away from the previous government, but having the current government we have, up to almost going to 10 years, I think this were something that we could have been able to correct this. So I think, just shortly to put it, I think we definitely lose the opportunities on areas that we need to tackle the cost of living, on how to help the economy. Just the same thing with the dollars. You know, I came in, dollars was 74, and then it went to 73.5, 73.50, and so it have not been stable. But the worst part of it, you change your US dollars and you see what will happen to that $100.
So you mean once it's in dollars, it's flying?
Oh my God!
Who are in dollars every day?
Yes.
Okay.
So, yes.
That's important. I also want to see, we're talking about crime, and this, you know, you want to believe that if identification is enhanced and migrants, or let's say aliens, are scrutinized further, we might keep away a lot of criminals.
That's right.
Do you think you want to blame most of the heinous crimes on aliens or Gambians? Because some people said, okay, let us not be xenophobic.
No.
Some of us Gambians too who commit this kind of crimes.
No.
From what the police have been saying, do you have a feeling that most of these dangerous crimes are committed by police or smart, crimes like trying to?
Yeah, I mean, when we look at everything, I mean, some of these crimes, and some folks are definitely recruited by.
I know, sophisticated crimes like cyber, mostly foreigners that in those ones. Because like there was a case in signing of Pudian.
Yes.
Even Chinese were involved in that people trying to hack into people's account or bank's account, stuff like that. But robbery in the streets, that could be Gambians too. Well,
it could be. I mean, Mr. Cham, look at it. So the way I look at this is that the first thing is, let's say we look at the visitors that come in. Are they properly identified? Are they properly monitored? That's the questions. We're talking about the migration issue. We're talking about, some of these situations that the U.S. government is actually putting in place when it comes to, people getting into their country. And sometimes we for us as a migrant living there, we see another way around.
People think that
exactly.
America is very much anti-migrant.
Yes, but when you look at this, the minimum for places like our countries in West Africa, like Gambia, can also follow through with this process. It's really to make sure that people are you know who is in your country. I mean, in your house, you can just let somebody come mingling around your house. You don't know who is this person.
Yes,
because what will happen next? You want to make sure that your family are protected, your kids, for that individual. If you don't know the background of that person, you haven't created a system where this person is properly scrutinized, then anything could happen.
Exactly.
So I think it's really, really important for our government, in the 21st century, to be able to look into this more in detail and see how we can control. And this can be gradually.
Yeah.
But has there been any progress? Not. No. It has been for the past 10 years. Okay. Process has always been the same. And just the matter of fact, we don't have ID. I was just sending one of my cousin, hey, can you go get something? I transferred some money, and then says go pick it up. I don't have an ID. Right. This is a common thing.
Right. Good.
And if something happens to that boy or somebody right on the street, he get hit by a car, guess what? They're gonna come to Kerfatu and other social media with the picture to identify, to help the parents find that child. And guess what? These are Gambian children.
Right. Indeed.
So it's very important.
Okay, let's go into the politics.
Just before you go, if you have a serious government that's concerned about the national security, and then you look at our criminal justice system, the problem is immigration per se. When we come to the airport, what do? Fingerprinting. And they started taking our picture, asking us where you stay in. Now, look at all the border posts in and around Gambia.
The land border.
What they should have done is to station immigration officers there. The physical border, of course, is important. And they keep them with machines and stuff, whereby anybody coming into that
Senegal. Recently I was at Dakar and you have to go to fingerprint.
Exactly. So you will know, well, these people, how long they've been in this country. If you say the ECOWAS protocol, yes, we understand 3 months. After 3 months, you need to go out or apply for any kind of status in that particular country you are. Now, you look at immigration. People are unable to even get an ID card, no passport, but they're happy to issue it elsewhere for a reason they know, but they couldn't explain it to us.
You mean,
now, yes. But the problem we have, they could have tackled this issue. Very simple. They need to have a database. You don't need to apply a passport by going physically and the queue under a very hot sun just to get a passport, or seeing, oh yeah, I've got a nephew.
You are talking about standards.
No, but Cham, this is simple.
Standards in the UK cannot be compared here.
Internet is everywhere.
Materials and...
yeah, but again, internet is everywhere.
I know, but even connections here is a problem.
Yeah, but the issue is, all the money they are wasting, they could have invested that in our infrastructure to make sure that they're efficient for all of us. You sit down and then apply a passport or ID card. It goes to the immigration database. And then they will process that. The processing officers will be there. They process, if they want to interview you or supporting document, they can call you to come because your numbers are there. You don't need to physically go there. And once that happens, then
you need to be fingerprinted.
Yes, you go there, they fingerprint you because they can give you appointment on that. They don't have a processing center whereby there will be immigration case workers that are working on a passport and ID card. But the reason why they're allowing people to go there physically and queue is mainly to get a bribe from them. Give me physical cards, and then no serious nation deal with physical cards in this 24th century.
Number of how many of such applicants are themselves educated to be able
to
but
if you are not, there is a standard. There are people who are educated. You can simply walk. Look at this thing. Estate agent or JPs.
Yeah, you go the JPs. That's why they go. They sit before or in front of those.
Every development gave back to a development. Yes. If you introduce something like that, I'm sure Cham can have a company where you say that we deal with immigration matter, applying for passport and so.
Well, there are immigration advisory.
Yes. And then when people come, you charge them whatever you want to charge them, and then you apply.
Passport, the authorities need to authenticate. Otherwise, there will be fake agencies. No, will sell our passport.
No. What happened? The application itself. To apply for a passport, you go online and then apply. It goes to the immigration. There's nothing you can face them. So once you get that, whatever your client might be, they will respond to you through email, and you advise your client accordingly what they need to do, evidence, what they need to go fingerprinting. The appointment is there. You tell them that yes, they responded. Your appointment date is on Monday, 11 o'clock. You make sure you are in Banjul.
Yep.
You understand? So now Cham has a company that is also earning good, and you also
will still need to see that applicant
No.
to satisfy whether actually.
no, that's what I'm saying.
That's the fingerprint.
Yes, they will see, because if you apply for a passport and then even Cham's company did it for you, the appointment they will be giving you, you will appear there physically,
Yep.
and then you will do the fingerprinting. They will see your picture, because the passport photo you attach to your passport or ID card, they will physically verify that this is you. It's simple. This is a very simple technology.
Yeah.
Well, this
Very.
is not
No, it's not. It's not difficult.
The problem in the first place, we have internet problem first.
No, but that
Electricity is not all.
trust me. If you go to State House, there's no internet.
So we have a long way.
If you go to State House, there's no internet problem there. Most of these people, the ministers, they are home, senior officers, they have no internet problem there.
Okay.
So if they don't have internet problem,
police stations or immigration.
exactly,
Okay.
we need to invest in our infrastructure to make sure that it's
very
efficient if we are serious as a nation and we want this country to develop. Now look at Wave. People transfer money. If I come and say, can I transfer? These are technology evolution.
Yeah.
It's simple. 20 years ago, we said, no, that's not possible.
Yeah, 20 years
But
ago,
we did.
you physically have to give money to somebody coming from UK.
Exactly. So we are dealing.
Money transfer.
Yeah, carry on.
Mr. Gassama, Mr. Cham, let me just add to that quickly. Few years back, I came to Gambia. Regarding a passport, just as you said, I went to Banjul to get a passport, renew or get a new passport. Even the environment, you'll be sitting outside. That place was hot. This is your citizens. How comes we cannot have an air conditioner place where you can sit down and wait?
Yeah, these Americans.
No, but Mr. Cham, what is common thing? We have a lot of land. That location, matter of fact, can be relocated to an area where we can have an infrastructure. I was sitting there all day, Mr. Cham. I know how horrible it was. And guess what? After the money that I went to the bank, it was 3,000, whatever the amount was. I got all my papers. I went. I was sitting outside. There's no chance you can even I have to give up my seat. So some of the women that will come, they are elderly, sitting there. We were sitting outside like a car park. This is not a joke, Mr. Cham. Okay, so I was sitting there. Then when I get in there, like, you have two options. You can get this expedite, or you can wait for the normal time. And the expedite fees, with everything I pay, I have to pay another $1,000. And I could even get it on that day. I have to come back. That's just to expedite it.
Okay.
So this is really serious. You have to take care of your people, Mr. Cham. This is that environment. We are not talking about visitors. We are not talking about foreigners. We are talking about Gambians.
Yeah, there have been issues.
There's not enough seat. And these are the places I am really, really encouraging the media houses to take a day. Go visit. Interview folks that are waiting to get their passport,
or ID.
to get their ID. These are the things that we think our media houses, to be honest.
So
let them go there and see this environment and see how people languish in that area. As my brother is saying here, in the US, I can get a passport on a one day. All I need to do, fill out my passport information, everything. I go for my appointment at 8 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, my passport is ready.
Yeah.
Very efficient.
Yeah.
We have to be able to approach the efficiencies and to be able to look for our citizens. And if you said the government cannot afford to find a place that a citizen can sit and enjoy the air condition that the ministers, the lawmakers are enjoying, no, that's unbelievable.
Then we have a problem.
Yes.
Right. Let's talk about the general. When we're talking about the economy, the government of the day has prided itself for putting up when you arrive at the airport. You saw many years ago. You didn't see that the battle hardened highway is now bigger, a lot more, a lot more motorable. It can carry a lot of people now. And if you go through, right through to Sting Corner in Banjul, the road is wider. And there are so many other small roads built all around the Combo and everyone there. Recently, in fact, the president called our area Dubai. Skyscrapers are going up and down. There has been tremendous improvement in terms of infrastructure.
I'll
You can't compare to America, but
that's right.
by our own standard.
I can take a quick on that, then Mr. Gassama will follow through. So when I arrived, it has been about a couple of years now before I came to Gambia. I arrived in the evening at the airport. The waiting area alone, that waiting area, before you actually be able to see immigration.
Oh yeah, that's waiting area.
Before you pay the fees.
That is the security fees.
That area alone is congested. And then the AC, the air condition was completely off.
Really?
People were sweating like nobody's business. You know, we were standing there. The process was very slow. And, you know, we have tourists. I feel really ashamed, matter of fact, because having tourists taking off their jacket, where you coming from, you know, so, but I asked one of the folks that was standing there, I think he's part of the Gambia, whatever, the GIA or something like that.
GCCA.
Yeah, something like that, that control. I'm like, bro, how comes the air condition, the airport is so hot like this? Oh, they just turn it off. I said, but look, they know when these flights are arriving. Why would they even turn this on? I could remember how much I realized the government spent to renovate this airport.
Yeah, $14 million.
Yes. But Mr. Cham, this place was so hot. It's unbelievable. And the process, the line process was so slow, you don't see any sense of urgency. But at least we should have an air conditioner in that place. I think that will even be a better way to welcome if you want to improve in your tourism, as we said. Because this brings income. This is one of the source of incomes for this country. But that particular environment, and I spoke to a couple of tourists, hey, this is my first time visiting Gambia. You know, I was like, you're going to enjoy Gambia. But this part of it, you know, it was not. But could you imagine?
First impressions count.
First impression count. Our folks, why our leaders that are actually managing these places, that are running these places, cannot put this into consideration.
Good.
Hey, flights are coming this time. Are you going to come with some portable air conditions for the meantime to make? No, but it should have enough to be able to service.
And they know when people are going to be.
Exactly. They know exactly when those flights are landing. Yeah, Mr.
You didn't
Mr.
talk about
Gassama.
infrastructure.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, so the infrastructure part of it.
Yeah, because that's the selling point of it.
Exactly. I mean, to be honest, you know, I live off, you know, Batin Harding Highway. So when I came, I've been to Chamwe. Yes, I've been to Chamwe. Oh yeah, we have the road heading to now. It was actually a few years back. It was a gravel. It wasn't. There was not a tar road, and then that has been a tar road. These are important. It's important because road network is important. You know, it make it easier for goods to move around and people to move around, and especially for safety. You know, so that's important. You know, and I have seen improvement in that. You know, recently some roads that I used to drive on which were not paved.
Yes.
Now I have seen some of those pavements has been taking place. That's important. You know, and you know, I'll definitely, you know, the government is doing good on that side, and I know it's gonna continue. But government is always a continuation.
Yeah.
I don't think one individual government can actually just focus on road and then say, hey, my goal is roads while your people are hungry. You know, while your people are dying with starvation, while we have all these youth risking their life, you know, to go. Our time, we never really think about that. We think about one way to travel is the legal way. You know, so I think there's so many things that the government can look inside than just the roads. This investment, there's so many things which I know Mr. Gassama actually talks about. So I and you know, I applaud the government for doing that. It's all part of development, but priorities have to be placed in
they're given to roads should have been given to health, education, and living.
So many things. So many things. As I said, with the immigration office, Gambians are standing there. You will never even wanted to try to use the restroom, the bathroom over there.
But at least
how terrible it was.
Now.
Where?
At the airport.
Well, the airport, yes, the airport. But what I'm saying, this is not only gonna be the center of attention. Sometimes this place is like immigration office.
Oh yeah, immigration.
You know, when people go over there to get their passport or to get their ID, they should have conducive sitting environment
and good sanitation.
And good sanitation. You know, these are public service areas.
Indeed.
Mr. Gassama.
Gassama, when you talk about, I mean, one of the most selling points that this government is proud of in outlining their achievements is road construction. And to be frank, they have increased a lot of roads. I mean, and built ones where it never existed and expanding ones that were there before. So on that account, you should give credit to the government.
Well, if I am to give credit to the government, I'll give it to the Sadaudas government.
Yeah.
Who brought it? Well, okay, I can explain that. Yes. You know, when Jawara came to power, most of the roads you're talking about, they don't even exist as a road. But because of the gradual settlement, people started opening roads there. It becomes a major road and it goes on. But the most important one is the Trans-Gambia Highway going, or some of the one...
The Banjul Basse Road.
Basse Road. And also, you get certain road that go to Woolly, and then also you go to major towns, whereby they are...
but they are not paved.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Not motorable in the rainy season.
Yes, but when Gambia achieved its independence, virtually we had nothing. And Jawara managed to build those kind of infrastructures according to our standard, and then was gradually going. You travel and then go. You understand? Some of them were like, they put stone there, they couldn't put the tar there. But again, they were accessible by cars, by foot.
I mean, in the rainy season.
Today,
like Chamonix,
exactly. Yeah. We can understand how the pace of development was going on. But again, you look at that time with the amount of resources that we have and then the population is because we are expanding. So some of these things, wherever there is a new development, they will just try to carve to get a major road. And the government that it meets in power is your obligation to develop it. So that credit, you cannot say, oh, I did this. It doesn't mean it existed. When the previous government was there, it was non-existent. So what was existing?
Upgrade them.
Yes. No, you know, as he said, development is a continuation all the time. It doesn't mean that something will last forever. So, but you just come and then expand on it. Industrialization in Europe, it doesn't mean when you say industrialization, pam, they say, oh, that is the end. But subsequent government, they came, they started expanding it, putting in technology to make it more efficient, more productive. That is how a government is. Barrow built some roads. I can give him a credit for that. But again, to me, infrastructural development doesn't stop at the roads. Because there are so many infrastructures that Barrow needs to develop.
He doesn't. With clinics and hospitals.
Yeah, but clinic and hospital, where? Can you count them? He built one in Kiang.
In Kiang.
Yes, and where?
But it was named after Sharif Mustafa.
And then which one?
Another place.
And then how many hospitals did Yahya Jammeh build in this country?
Yes, in Boyam and
Soma, Farafenye, Bundung.
Yeah.
4 major hospitals. And how many hospitals did Barrow build? Nothing.
Well, there are several.
No, of course. Yes. You know, that's what I'm saying. Development is a continuous process. Barrow could have created something that he can be proud of to say, I built this institute. Gamtel was built by Jawara. Ports was built by Jawara. And then you look at Social Security was built by Jawara.
I had this argument recently from the PPP people.
No, but that's a fact, because if you looked at it, you have to put in an institution whereby people will say that this is a major thing. If you say National Intelligence Agency, started with Jawara and the Jammeh continued. Now, what major infrastructure or institution that Barrow built can tell us that this is what I built and is benefiting the Gambian people? Immigration was built by Jawara. Police force was built by Jawara. Military was built by Jawara.
But they were upgraded.
But
modernized.
No. Which side of the military was modernized? Nothing. Which side of the military?
The military now boasts of armored personnel carriers.
Anti-aircraft
missiles. You cannot name the big ones we have. But then all those are not happening before.
Yeah, but what my trouble is,
and training, they have expert
the
military in another place.
You know, you can benefit from this intercontinental or inter-country training. Those are part of our, let's say, global development. But the issue is, if you look at the condition of the army, the police, the nurses, the teachers, are they in a better position
That's where you come to deal.
That is where a problem is. Yeah. It's not about you go and build a very nice building, they sit down there and occupy. No, you go into the traffic, you see female traffic officers, male traffic officers. That should be non-existent by now. Our traffic should have been controlled by the traffic lights. These people should have been deployed.
Check people's insurance.
No. You know, if you put traffic lights, you put a CCTV camera that is operated by, let's say, Sol under the top. Police gradually that will be linked to their database, whereby those who violated it, it's just to find them because they have a number plate. This is very easy. But to deploy the police in the street, they are there. Although when the traffic becomes check up, they find it, they struggle. But traffic light is a modern thing that we are. When Jammeh was living, Jammeh left all the traffic. Where are they?
Well, the one that was most popular was the one that it's still been called traffic lights.
Exactly. So once that we have an attitude whereby it's very bad, it's anti-democratic.
But I think the roundabouts do replace traffic.
No, roundabouts. Cham, you've been in the UK. Roundabout don't replace any traffic. There are junctions whereby look at the airport junction. Is there any traffic light there? No. So is there any roundabout there? No. So the people have to be cautious about, I will go first, I will go second. So any accident could happen anytime. So this is a problem. What they are crediting themselves for, we build roads and stuff. Of course not. There are so many bad roads in this country. And if you look at Nyamina, from Choya to Kulenya, that goes to Dankunku.
That's still not done.
That's still not done. Maybe but they are happy to go there during that.
They'll focus on that.
During that by-election, what did they tell the people of Nyamina? Catalog of lies and stuff.
That was the first.
Exactly.
The first NPP seat.
Yes. So they use politics.
You don't keep the promises.
No, they don't. So this is where people need to wake up to look at them. Look, if you wake up every day, think about yourself, your family, and your country. What will be the future of your kids under the current government? You assess them. They are 10 years now in power. Building roads, will that fill my tummy? The bag of rice is increasing. The sugar is increasing. All the major commodities are increasing. Now, how is the government helping you? Because they are not creating any jobs.
But they say they subsidize.
What do they subsidize?
Like fuel and fertilizer for farmers.
How much is the cost of fuel? It is 85.6 per liter.
There have been subsidies. Otherwise, it would have been $120 per liter.
When Barrow came to power,
we would have packed our cars.
You remember when Barrow came to power? He was organizing press conference with the journalists, right? You know why he stopped it? Because the promises he made, somebody did ask him about that. I think that was the last press conference. You would subsidize rice. Rice was never subsidized.
We have been asking why that press conference is
because when the politicians are cornered through their own words, they don't subsidize anymore. Exactly.
Regularly.
And recently, I will tell you, this Dubai is food.
Yes.
Wait until rainy season.
I come from
It will come back. It will come back to TikTok again. They'll say Dubai is flooding.
No, but the thing is, okay, you know, I mean, it could be, let's say, president get excited when you look around and see that people are building, you know, because the roads are there. Yeah, you know, president can get excited and said, but then fundamentally, yes, the town with Brunch have changed a lot in different ways. Like, okay, you could argue that it is the Combo coastal roads that definitely open up the entire Combos, including Burfoot, that was built in 1999-2000 by Jammeh. The Combo coastal roads. Yes, that is what brought about, you know, big changes in the Burfoot Heights, Burfoot Gardens, turntable areas, all become to develop here because of the roads. But then inside Burfoot and the environment, yes, that's have been living. You know, in tatters, obviously. Some areas, in fact, most areas not accessible, especially beyond Burfoot to Madiana. You can't get there on the rainy season. And then the new roads, the OIC roads, definitely improved a lot the state of affairs in Burfoot. Now you can leave the Combo Coastal Road at Gamtel and then find yourself in Burfoot and beyond. If you like, you can go left towards the Willingham right down to the airport road, and then you go round to Tanje Road, the Coastal Road, or the Combo Coastal Road, and go to Tanje. So, and then you can go through, you know, across Burfoot, across the Combo Coastal Road to Burfoot Heights, and then down to Mohammed Yah Johnson to join the Battle Hardin Highway. So that kind of brought, easy access to people of Burfoot. They can get away from different corners. That is true. That is true. That has improved the condition of roads in Brufut a lot. But Dubai is paved. Every street is paved. So yes, we will accept. Now we have to impose visas for people coming from Brikama. Because they are, we will soon impose visas. I saw a design of the visa on the internet.
But you have put the physical border.
But Mr. Cham,
people come from Brikama.
Mr. Cham, just quickly, when it comes to what Mr. Gassama was saying about the traffic lights, I think during the Jame time, Gambians start getting introductions to a traffic light, these traffic rules. To be honest, my expectation would be the current government could have taken it from there and then maintain this, especially when coming from the airport. That's that junction from the airport to get on the highway.
It's a dangerous.
That's a very, very dangerous point right there. I mean, only that point alone. There should be either a police checkpoint or there's a traffic light that how the other incoming vehicles to be able to wait.
The initial plan of the road was that road was going to continue into the airport. In fact, they even removed the fence. Can you imagine if you from let's say if you're from Coastal Road after Yarambamba, you were meant to go straight into the airport fence. The fence was removed. I think the design was changed later.
Yes.
But it was going to be the section where people can drive straight to the terminal building. That was how the initial.
That's how.
In fact, the fence was removed, and I think a part was created. Somehow it was abandoned.
So Mr. Cham, just matter of the story about Brufut being looking like Dubai. That's a funny. I mean, if we cannot mere traffic light, we can maintain that. And this was introduced to the country. And at one point, the drivers were definitely getting used to it. They were getting used and also respecting it. I mean, it's something that for us where we came from is common. But here it was something new.
Yeah.
So
that's what brought about that police been called the first traffic.
Exactly.
We still call
so I think this could have been continuation before we even think about calling any part of this country.
But we wish to be Dubai. London,
yes.
It's not
but that would be the question. Why these traffic lights were not maintained?
Okay.
Having to have a new government in place, as we're all looking at.
All right.
And I think that's not the high priority if people are hungry, but at least that could have helped to just see that there's a continuation and help ease the traffic.
Okay.
So
I know we have to. Okay, we're going to the politics now because one of the arguments. So the arguments I always bring up when I meet government officials and they try to defend their record. The borough government officials. I always put it. People are jogging you, not because you are better than the past. They don't compare you to Jambi. But what people are comparing is you were meant to be a correctional government. You were able to put in the, correctional measures that people are spared. So people are jogging you within these 10 years. The resources you had at your disposal and the concrete things you are able to implement. That's what they are judging you from. That's what I always argue with them. I know this was not here, this was. I said, okay, this we are not all there. That's true. You have done this, you have done it. But then people judge you in terms of your promises, your agenda, your programs,
and your
resources you promised, and the resources put at your disposal, and what you have been able to achieve now. That is what people judge you. That's why you find it difficult to, people don't appreciate what you have done. It wasn't here. No, they're trying to judge you from what has been achieved with the resources at your disposal. That's how that's important. So when you look at the government from 2016 to now in the diaspora, you're coming in and out every year.
Yes.
Do you think the government has lived up to its billing to be the government that was going to put the reforms? Infrastructural development can be counted as reforms. They've done very well there. But there are reforms like the security, the democratic cultures, the electoral, free and fair elections, the leveling of the political field, freedom of association, all the liberties. How have they fared?
Go first. Okay. So, Mr. Cham, when it comes to one thing that I'm really, really disappointed in, and up till today, I couldn't just believe that we are still living under the old constitution after all these years. You know, after the suffering, after the struggle
that's
for so many Gambians that were out there for so many years that they couldn't have opportunity to even visit this country. The brutal, the lives, you know, the type of life Gambians were living in. To say that this current government can still maintain us living on this constitution that was here and still here, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, but then
That's really the major. That's really a major issue for me.
That the government always said there are two sides to that argument.
Miss-
There was one that many believe was killed by government themselves, and then there's one that they try to improve. The opposition killed that. So there are.
But Mr. Cham, I'll be honest with you. If the government really serious for any constitution to pass in this country, they would have, especially the initial one, the 2020 constitution. They could have done everything to make it. But how would you even explain that we are still living
In
the person that we fought, you know, do everything to remove,
it's ironic.
not even removing, but to drag him out of this country. Up to now, we are living under that constitution. There's nothing you can really explain.
It's a concern.
There's nothing you can really explain. So for me, I think that's really one of the things that, you know, no matter what this government have done up till now, have achieved, that alone, that alone, Mr. Cham, can actually cover this, because I don't think we should have. There's a lot of reforms that has actually could have been taking place from then to now. I don't see any of that.
Example, the constitution is important. Yeah.
The constitution is important. You know, the term limit comes with the constitution, the diaspora.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about that.
You know, the diaspora. I mean, this is the only country, as I said again, I follow some of the regional, you know, places like Sierra Leone and other, they don't have any restrictions on diaspora to even hold a ministerial position. Yes. I don't know whether you follow that.
Yeah, I know.
Some of the regions. So it's only in Gambia, and you know what? They're enjoying it. For me, I think
So
the current government just enjoy that.
Yes. From taking position.
That's what it is.
Keep it still there, you believe.
Exactly. But you know, the remittances that the diaspora
they don't
provide,
keep it
no, that one, they don't keep it away. But they enjoying it, which is heartbreaking. You know, to look at that, we have a lot of talented diasporans.
Yeah.
Skillful. Some of us have been here, gone to school, gone to do universities, and working Gambians are very hardworking people.
Yeah. So you
And they are very intelligent.
You believe
but,
that you are disappointed that the same laws that the people fought against are still.
We still have those laws. We still have it, still living. You know what? If I was the former president, I would just sit down and chill and relax. Be like, you know what? My folks, they are still living, because you know what? Of the selfish, as my brother said here, politics.
Gassama, would you agree to? So there is no so that one of the biggest problem or deficit of the government's performance. Government performance is the lack of constitution.
Yeah, that is one of the issues, because they see Jammeh's constitution as convenient to them, and then politically they can continue it. They have no issue after blowing 116 million. But those who are the consultative committee went around the whole world in the Gambia, gauging people's opinion about what should or should not be in that constitution. I will blame them, number one. Yes, I think what happened is because the way they omitted the diasporan people, nobody tell those people anywhere in the video. Number one, you cannot be a president. Number two, you cannot be a minister.
No, but that was recommended to be removed from the constitution.
But did they remove it?
Not because the constitution didn't pass.
But that's what I'm telling you. It's not recommended because they wrote it there. The judges will be paid and their family for life. So who did that? You know, look at the caliber of people who wrote this constitution for themselves and their cronies. You can see that the government have no political will because they don't care as long as Barrow political feature is in the equation. But those who wrote this constitution, the reason what we should have challenged them is, show us in the video where the Gambian express opinion. Those in the diaspora cannot be minister or should not be.
No, listen. they did not, the constitution recommended that that law be removed. That's where you missed the point.
No. If you looked at it, the constitution doesn't recommend that law to be removed. Why do they mention if you are a dual passport holder, you cannot be a minister?
That was in the 1997.
No, that was in the 1997
but
constitution.
in the 2020 draft, it's not there.
It's not there.
It is.
No.
Okay, I must have mistook that.
Yeah,
1
it's not
second.
there.
Then again, you cannot be a president if you hold it. Now, the problem is, I know many people will, like you said, okay, if you want that, why don't you surrender your other passport and then come? Fair enough. But if you look at Senegal, if I can recall,
Let me tell you, even Jammeh's time, even though the law is there, Jammeh never bought it.
yeah, but
You
why?
had people, ministers who have been.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
He didn't care.
So that's why they don't care about the constitution. And then looking at all this, what made me gutted was the amount of money we spent on this constitution.
Yeah.
And it went into the bin. We could have put it somewhere else that helps us. Forget about the entire constitution. The Barrow administration feel politically convenient to stay with the 1997 constitution, and even though some of the stuff in the constitution they might not apply it openly like what Jammeh was doing, but they will just maneuver with it and then continue. But there's no political will, and the oppositions they didn't take a firm stand to challenge the Gambia government about these things.
So, but this, but this thing collapsed in Parliament, and the point of arguments where the government's argument. I mean, the opposition accused the government, and many observers also believe the government has a role in the killing of that 2020. We made bone of contentions where the government came out with an observation where they said their point of view is that one, to say that the sitting president at the time of the coming into force of this constitution should have meant the first term of the sitting president. They think that's discriminatory.
Retroactive.
But yes, they think that's discriminatory because it would have meant that Barrow would not be able to contest in the coming presidential election. So they said that was unfair, not just for Barrow, but they said for any president, even if it had not been Barrow, it would have been unfair to say, all right, when this constitution come into power, into force tomorrow, it would have counted your first term, even if you had just been elected. They said that's not fair.
I personally agree.
And again, they said the powers that were given away from the presidency to the National Assembly and other committees was too much. It leaves the president powerless. That was another observation they made.
Yes.
So when they made those observations and took it to the CRC, at the time the NPP, quite frankly, on paper didn't have any MPs, maybe only one or so. But the MPs that defected from the PPP, rather
from UDP.
the UDP, as well as the allied ones from the NRP and from the APRC and stuff like that, I mean, they were enough to block the numbers that are required to have it passed from the opposition. So that's why it was killed. Now, subsequently, the government came up with their own another legislation, but the opposition felt that, well, this is time to revenge. When we wanted that one, you killed it. Now you don't have the numbers, so we will block because you don't have the numbers. Now we have the numbers and we won't support it. So people said the two political powers actually didn't care about what the people felt. They just put their political whims and caprices and killed both documents. That's the disappointment.
Yes, that is a problem, obviously. There are a lot of stuff in which, if you look at even the selection of IC chairman, I have a personal issue with it.
Yeah.
It shouldn't have been done by the president. It's a player in the
and all those are in this constitution. Then you appoint a board. They call
Yes,
it
exactly.
election board.
But that, like I said, they're happy to continue with the status quo because it's politically convenient for them. So what is the way forward is the Gambian people to sit down and look at it. I know it's going to be very difficult with these fragmented opposition leaders.
We are coming to the...
Yeah.
We are coming
So it's going to be difficult for them to come and then put a pressure on the government to say, look, we need this urgently, immediately. Because otherwise, I agree to the extent because you cannot put the law back.
Well, that
was
was
a crime that was committed
government's argument
because legally it doesn't make sense. If you say that, Sarjo, you went and robbed somebody in Senegambia 3 years ago, and we're going to put in a law today that will cover 3 years ago. I'm going to successfully challenge that in court. because there was no law existing at the time when I was doing this. So if you want to put, I said personally, to be honest, we could have just let that go. In politics, sometimes you compromise. Then even if Barrow is elected for another 5, it's not going to be contested again. Then we have
then in that case, if it's left like that,
yes.
he was not be able to. If it is left like that, you mean Barrow should have agreed to it?
No. We should have agreed to it.
The Gambians should have the opposition.
When we agreed to it, then Barrow.
That's the latest one.
No, not
the first one. The 2020. Yeah.
You know, Barrow's third term was the controversial issue there. No, he said, his coalition fourth term should have been included in the constitution to serve as term 1. So then 2021 term 2, then he wouldn't have contested in 2026. But me personally, we would have said, okay, forget about your fourth term, fine, it's excluded because it's not fair to take the law back and then cover your 5 years when there was no law existing. We know it's a political game, but now we will allow you, this is going to be your fourth term, and the 2026 is going to be your second term.
That's it.
Fair enough, but after 2026, then the political argument would have confronted Barrow and his people. They wouldn't have anything to say. We have compromised.
But yes, but then he would still have been allowed to contest 2026.
Yes, if he contests another 5 years, what will happen? Then we would say, okay, Barrow has been power legally, according to the new constitution, for 10 years. Whatever worries we have about Barrow and his government, including the corruption and stuff, after 2026, when the 5-year mandate ended, we can now start putting our house in order with all the bad things they have done.
So you mean the opposition were impatient with having him?
Exactly.
Yes.
Having himself given an opportunity.
This is the problem. And now, in case if you want to bring another constitution, they're not going to count another 2021.
No, now nothing is countable.
So you see,
it's only his own goodwill now.
We could have calculated this. You know, sometimes there are strategies. You could have left something for your bigger picture. But we are very impatient.
And what was so nice in that other one also is the absolute majority system, that electoral
50+1.
Yeah,
which is very good.
That is very democratic because it's always end in the majority of people supporting the president.
Well, Mr.
and not necessarily small.
Yeah, I think sometimes there's a games are played with people.
By politicians.
That's what I'm looking at. When you look at what you are saying, definitely, and what Mr. Gassama just mentioned here, I think, that 5 years is what? That was the coalition. Gambians could have been like, you know what? Yes, you're right. We have partial, the oppositions were part of your political, they were part of your administration. Now, coming 2020, the next elections, which were 2021, then it could start from there. This is going to be your first term. Then from there, consequently, we move to another term.
Yes.
That's the period.
And in that case, 2030, he should not be able to.
Yes. So he wouldn't be able to run. Well, I mean, no, this could have actually stopped. This would have been the second term. So he was going to go 2021.
No, this would have been his first term.
This would have been his first term. This would have been his first term.
The 2026 coming will be the second term.
Yes. No. Remember, I think the 2016 was the
problem is
from 2016 to 2020.
The opposition or the constitution.
Yes, would have counted
2021 2017 to 2021.
Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Yes,
well, that's what the constitution would have counted.
Yes,
and that's Barrow's disagreement. Disagreement was no, you cannot count that because that's the time the constitution comes. If you are talking about 2 terms now, we should start from 2020, from now to 2026, when I would have been two times.
Exactly.
I would have been elected
the constitution
twice.
Should have been.
Barrow did not believe that 2017 should be counted.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, but that's so that was the first 5 years.
That was the first 5 years.
That shouldn't be counted. But were we gonna count from the 2021 election?
Yes. Oh, 2031.
Yes. These 5 years.
2021.
No, if we counted from 2021, which is what
that would be the first time.
That's what Barrow is happy with.
Okay. Yes.
That would then up to 2031, then it would have been 2 terms.
That would have been the end.
Okay.
So we could.
And that's what's happening. Whether or not because what is what's happening now? The only difference now is even 2031, in the absence of this clause now, he can even come back in 2036, 2037 if he's alive.
Exactly. So we could have calculated this and said, look, sometimes let's put a strategy. It's not going to be that long. Now Barrow can
when it comes to term limit now, the country only have to rely on the goodwill of Barrow.
Yep.
That's all.
But
He is the one who can say, well, you know what? There is no law stopping me because the law couldn't come into Parliament, but I have taken the moral decision
To
to stop here
Stop
at
here.
2 terms and now laid a concrete foundation for anybody who comes to go more.
But
So we are living with this goodwill now.
That's right.
Yeah.
We are. But this is what the Gambians can also do. They can end that
Well, that's the argument.
by voting. You know, they can end that by saying that, okay,
Yeah, that's another thing. But then,
yes, we got enough
Yeah.
of this.
Yeah.
Now we should move.
But laws are far more guaranteed than.
Yeah.
Well, the laws are far more guaranteed.
For example,
Obviously,
in the United
definitely,
States,
yes,
you can be popular
yes.
beyond 8 years, but,
Yes.
but you cannot.
Well, that's the thing with the US, with the
That-
US,
that's with
with the
Obama,
US,
for
with the US right now. All the craziness, whatever Donald Trump is doing,
It's gonna-
he has no opportunity to run again.
Exactly.
That's it.
So the
Period.
law is far
So
better
the
than
law is more
goodwill.
far better to be
Goodwill.
in place. So you're definitely right.
As he says,
Yes, sir.
yeah,
Yeah.
because there's a guarantee at the end of
Exactly,
your
exactly.
10 years, you cannot be a president. I believe Barrow is cornered, to be honest. personally.
But Mr.
At the end of the day, even if he wants to leave, because most of the blunders happening under his government, Barrow believes that people will come after him. He's thinking about his own future. Now, with
maybe because the opposition also always make those pronouncements.
yes, obviously I agree, because you can see some of the rhetoric.
Yeah, because if you up your rhetoric, in fact, people believe that's why Jammeh, had to
Cling
change his
on.
mind because he feared what the opposition.
But Mr.
Why the people who just won the elections says we're gonna put him in
Mr.
the chamber, we're gonna put him in a trench. Then he got.
But Mr. Cham, we live in a law-abiding country, and we have to respect that. So for me, the way I look at all of this is really where it comes to now Gambians have to make this decision. If we truly fought for what we fought for in coming to 2016, I think this is the time that Gambia should stood up. Mister, you have done this much. Great job. Where you take us to where we are now, but we want to move forward
You mean through the ballot box?
through the ballot.
Well, that's what Barrow is happy with. He said,
Yes, we and
You want me out? Go to the ballot.
yeah, we this is what Gambians, and this should not only be, people just voicing out. I think it involves a lot.
Okay, we go
Yes.
straight there as the final part of the program. That is, how do you see the political trend? Mr. Barrow has managed to put up what they call a grand coalition. He's going to manage to put some of the people who were in the initial coalition, the PDPs, the GPDPs of Henry Gomez, the GMCs of my party. He managed the NRP, the PPP to some extent at that time under the previous leadership. I'm not sure now that the PPP will be on the Barrow's in Barrow's grand coalition. But he managed to keep those initial members of the coalition 2016, plus a bigger member, the APRC. He called it the grand coalition. The opposition, as we see it, are still not divided, are still not united. In fact, if anything, we have seen divisions and divisions within the opposition. In your perspective, if it is left like this to December, where do you think the election outcome will look like?
So, Mr. Cham, I think what Gambians, especially for me, I think December is already here.
All right. Quite.
Well, just
And they say in politics, even 1 week is a lot.
just the livelihood, the way I see Gambians, people are living, the living condition is difficult. I think every day you think, you just dealing with, we personally coming over from the diaspora, we felt that pain from our people, the way we see their livelihood, the way they live. The difficulties. Like this morning before I come here, Mr. Cham, I always take a walk. So I take a walk all the way down in the morning, and then I was able to see these market women, early morning, what would those ladies get at the end of selling those little peppers, onions and all this thing on the street? By the end of they have to be there that early to be able to sell these items to get home, to be able to get something for lunch, to prepare lunch for their family. So just looking at the hustle, the bustle, I was like, man, how much at the end of the day this family would get. So for me, this is what I think Gambians should be thinking about, what comes in December. Okay, when it comes to our political, and I don't think we should just leave this with politicians or political party. The individual young man that is there that, doesn't have hope, or either one family or another have lost their loved ones through the back way. Mr. Cham, I was just talking to a young guy who drove me one of these days. His brother was working. He was the breadwinner, have 5 children. This guy got a job, but it was so difficult. And he told me that the moment he took that back way, they never heard about him. They are home. And he was like the person that hold their home together. And since he left, since he passed, they find out that he left. He was passed through the back way. Okay. The home have never been the way it used to be, the same again. So I'm thinking that this is what all Gambians, old, young, should be focusing on and think about what we need to do.
What do you make of the parties, the elections?
And I think that's where it is. This is where all the political parties need to put their differences aside and really take this, hey, this time around, we need to get this right. We need to put...
Looking at the dynamics within the opposition, because that's where this unity is.
Yes.
You have the main opposition, the United Democratic Party, which suffered, let's say, a rowdy flag bearer, process that led to the resignation of mayor of an important region in country.
That's right.
Then you have the other opposition, small ones. Every day there's an opposition group coming up. You cannot even keep track of them now. Now 19 altogether. Each one is blowing their own trumpet that we will be able to remove Barrow, we'll be able to remove Barrow. And then, of course, not long ago, I had an organization which is trying to bring all of them together.
That's right.
We have the realization that not a single party can remove the incumbents. That's what they realize. They are building the process. But do you think, in your analysis and looking at how the landscape is, there is a possibility for an opposition coalition?
There should be. They should make it happen.
Can it be? Giving at what I'm telling you.
Well, that's where this conversation comes into, where we look at everything as, this time it's not about the individual. It's not about the individual political. It's about Gambia in general. Because when it comes to the bigger political party, if we're looking at on the opposition side, it's actually UDP.
Yes.
Let nobody fool that conversation.
That's understand.
Looking at the percentage of voters, if you do the math, you look at the amount. Let's say, how much normally is it? About 800 to 900,000. That maximum. If you divide those, then definitely, the more we are divided, the oppositions are divided, then the more it's gonna create more opportunity
for the incumbent.
And if we are really, because this is not really just gonna affect one individual or one opposition party, but just looking at the young Gambians, the future of this nation. And the difference that oppositions can actually make, and to be able to hold the government accountable, to be able to influence this coming election is very important. So definitely coalition needs to be, that conversation needs to be in place.
Yeah, I know this. There are people who recognize the need for that.
Yes.
But I'm trying to say, when you have the UDP, claiming, like you said, we are the biggest political party, and every coalition, every political other smaller parties, as they see it, must come to us. Our leadership is not negotiable. All right. The others are saying, no, okay, your leadership, fine. We believe your leadership is not inspiring enough to get the votes that we need for the opposition. But these are the contestants.
That's right.
These are the two contestants. The UDP said, well, no, if it is, you don't like our leadership just because of hatred, but naturally we are the biggest party. And in every sensible coalition, the smaller ones come and join the bigger parties.
That's right.
But these smaller parties are saying, no, your candidate has been around, tried so many times. We don't think he can inspire voters to get the number we
Well,
but that's the argument between
yes,
the two of them.
yeah.
But if you look at that, do you think eventually this this small, rather this opposition will be able to reconcile this difference?
Well, they should. I mean, you know, looking at. All right, Mr.
All
Chan.
join
Yeah,
UDP?
that's for me.
That's the
If
best
just
option.
my best opinion.
That's the best solution.
My best opinion.
Yeah.
It will be all join UDP.
You mean that's the solution?
Well, that would be the best
That's the
solution.
only solution.
Because of the percentage.
Because of the strength,
The strength.
organizational strength
Yes.
of
And
our
what
party.
UDP has had in place. If you really, really mean
They
serious.
already have a bigger base.
Yes. If we really, really mean a serious changes
Yes.
coming 2026 this year.
It has to be.
It has to be. And you know, and I sometimes, you know, just the political landscape or just the words that we hear for, you know, Mr. Dabo as the leader of United Democratic. For me, my take on that is really where, when you look at it, you know, looking at this Mr. Dabo himself, that what he has stand for, what he stood for this country, he could have, my take would be, he could have easily taken an easy ride when it comes to being the second person
When he was vice president.
when he was vice president and be like, you know what, I'm comfortable, I'm doing well. UDP, let's reconsider and go with this route. Support Barrow, do whatever it needs to, because you know what, he's comfortable.
You mean Dabo could have?
He could have easy, and we see that a lot happening.
But what
in the
about
region.
what about his ultimate ambition is to?
Well, I mean,
President.
well, he could have stayed here and then probably, you know,
Walk out the way.
opportunity can exactly.
Walk out the way.
Yes, but looking at that, he, you know, just my own vision, just looking at everything, he look at that, he's like, you know what, Gambian, Mr. Barrow, I can hand over UDP to you. I didn't own it. I was selected to lead this party. I don't have that power to be able to convince, which is something that he can also, he have a lot of influence. But he said, I don't want to do that. We have to go through the normal process, and I'm not going to betray the people that trusted me, the people that have stood by me, to just give up just for my own interest and stay here, living in a big office, His Excellency, getting all the perks that comes with being a vice president.
Say if you tell him His Excellency.
Exactly. So you see that? Yeah. So
He could have
yeah.
felt that way and said, okay.
He could have felt that way, but he don't, because he know what he's got. So for me, I think if we are real as Gambians, that Mr. Dabo is very easy to sell. I mean, he has been in the game for that long. Looking at, you know, he fought with Jammeh all these years,
Yeah.
and I think sometimes as human beings, sometimes we just want something new. We want to see, hey, okay, he has been there that long, but I think it was really, he's one of that person that ever since I'm following Gambia politics, there's nowhere in a book that they have accused him. And we're all crying about corruption, which is happening, which is so much in this country as of right now. Accuse this man of any corruption or any proof that can show us that. So for me, I don't think that should really be a big issue for these other political parties to be like, you know what? I mean, the worst thing that could have happened is that he's accused of this, he's accused of it, there's a proof. And I can tell you, if there was any of that in place, this government, that would be the first thing they could have. It could have been all over the place.
Yeah.
But we know that. So how can we not? If you really wanted to sell something, you can sell it.
Okay. So you want to say that the logical thing, you know, by way of option to the opposition,
Yes.
is to buy the bullet and say, you know what? Let's do it once and for all, at least for now, and give chance to the old man.
To
Finally,
and
since he has already said he's going to serve only one
exactly, and that's what I wanted to come to.
The most logical option the opposition has now is, look, let's buy the bullet now and give this old man one chance by rallying behind him. You think that,
Mr.
that's the way out?
I think that's what it will be, and not even taking a high risk on him, because knowing who the man is, I don't think any Gambian will actually sit and criticize him of his qualification, of how he has managed. UDP might be the most bigger, but also can be a very challenging opposition party to manage.
Good.
But he has been managing this all these years long. So I think he has shown a great leadership. Yes.
So you mean the only option left for the opposition is, look, let's buy the bullet and follow this man at least one last chance. And
5 years.
Gassama, you think that's the feeling that can help build an opposition coalition?
A strong coalition.
You know, like I said, the argument that you hear talking to people is that, okay, fine, if UDP is the biggest party, I mean, logically, we are the biggest, every small opposition should follow us because we already have a bigger base compared to, which is true, of course, if you go individual parties, the UDP is the biggest. But then they will say, okay, you know what, we have seen Dabo contested 4 or 5 times and he was not able to convince the people to vote for him. Is he going to be able to inspire the people to vote for him now? Let's try another one like we did with Barrow the last time when Dabo was absent. Maybe that will work. But he's trying to say that, you know what? The only logical, sensible time, since UDP will not, and I think they made it clear, they are, if you join them, it has to be Dabo. So why not the opposition parties now said, okay, you know what? Let's buy the bullet now. Let's take the bull by the horn and once and for all, one last chance give to the old man and see. You think that's a logical
instep? And if you look at the model of the coalition 2016, coalition president should or shall never be a ruler. That is the core of.
What do you mean, coalition?
Coalition president should never be a ruler. They are telling you who will have a long-term ambition to continue like the way Barrow is.
Or
you meant to be
any eventual winner.
Any eventual winner, you will be there for a suspect. Exactly. You don't have political ambition to continue like a normal executive president or stuff. You were there to do the reform and then go get a level playing field. But that's the model of the coalition 2016. Many people miss that. Barrow was not meant to be an executive or a long-term ruler. No. It's to come and do the reform. That's why the 3 years agenda came in. But the reason why, if you look at, to some extent, UDP, their behavior, they scoop up some of all these things and it come back to haunt them.
You mean they are the ones who...
Yes, they play certain roles there which backfire on them. They can blame themselves for that. But that's why when the people see your behavior of your past, they will judge you, your present, and then they can predict what will happen in the future. So that's why I say trust always matters.
So you mean what will work against the UDP leading a coalition is that they will
because people
will look at their record.
Exactly. They were with the Barrow government. How they ginger Barrow, they control them. I mean, at the end of the day, they defended so many things about Barrow, and then they have shut down any political discourse that comes to very critical about Barrow. They spent 2.5 years with Barrow. We have seen that, and we have seen what they've been doing. We have heard what they've been doing. Eventually, when they fell out with Barrow, because if you looked at, the UDP was part of the coalition, even though their prominent leadership were in jail now, but they were part of every negotiation that we agree with Barrow that should stand. And when they came, what did they say? They tried to put the sun into the milk and said, no, where have we ever seen executive president that doesn't have executive power? Which means that Barrow, this is the knife, you can cut as much as you want. And they give him so much power to the extent which goes in breach with every coalition agreement. So I can see UDP betray their fellow coalitions. And once that happens, that is a record that is fully established. If you look for subsequent coalition in another election, people will say, hold on, they did it before, and this is how they turn out to be. And then that's why I say trust matters. And now it's for UDP to now build that gap to show that, look, this was something, we made a mistake, and now we should be trusted again. You understand?
UDP should go cap
cap off.
Told the partner and said, okay, we agreed, we cock up last time.
Because if they didn't guide Barrow through this, you can say that yes, Barrow is independent of his own. He betrayed the coalition. He should have served 3 years and then leave. We know that. But Barrow also have players that were helping him to do that.
But the UDP embodied.
Exactly. So because I think they control Barrow like a remote control, any channel they want to choose, they don't know. They were virtually in control.
Until
he fell down with them. But UDP, to that time, if I was part of UDP, my strategy would have been is to try to maintain Barrow and then stick with the coalition agreement to tie the screw on Barrow, because Barrow have no help or support at that time. He only rely on UDP. No, fine. We said 3 years.
So in that case, where's the argument? In that case, where the UDP too carelessly generous to Barrow by betraying other coalition members, and trying to support Barrow.
It was a poor political calculation because they thought because Barrow simply more people were saying Barrow doesn't know anything.
They thought he was micromanagable.
Yes, Barrow cannot do it. Barrow himself allow himself to be micromanaged in that extent, because I believe when they came to London for the Commonwealth meeting, so that press conference, Dabo was chairing everything. The president was sitting, the vice president. In fact, the president should have been answering people's questions. So we can see that Barrow's capacity is not to deal with certain international issues and stuff. I think they were genuinely trying to protect Barrow, not to expose him. You understand? But it went to an extent, Barrow himself, yes. So he was also learning, and then through some people that were with UDP, they eventually went to Barrow. They say, oh, hold on, commit them into defending so many things that were wrong, and then expose them, and then you see Barrow, 2021 election, you know what he was saying? The 2.5 years I spent with them, any development that I commit, they put their foot on it. That's what he was saying, that's the strategy. And then when I fired them, I was able to do X, Y, and Z for you people. Exposing UDP to say, okay, they're not going to help you, because whatever I initiated, they'll put their foot on it. So that was the 2021.
Outsiders for the split between Barrow and UDP.
No, I say
actually it's the same UDP.
No, that's what I'm telling you, because they have seen their interest. I can hear some of them saying, I don't want to be an opposition for life. This is an opportunity for me to enjoy. Because our politics in Gambia, particularly you put somebody in State House, everything is free for that person. That's what we need to completely kick out. The president sitting there, family, everybody, is the poor taxpayers that are feeding them energy, clothes, food, everything, virtually free. So that's why you can see all these political parties coming in. Either there will be a minister or they will be part of State House. But the minister, you have a car, full brand new car, 2 million or something, and the utility car, your family, everything, they have no genuine interest for this country. They have no mercy for the poor people. Forget it. They can form their political parties. They can form whatever alliances you call it, coalition. But the problem is, this country, those who sympathize with the poor people have not seen it in this political space. Because number one,
except how the people of Doi.
Yeah, people like PDOI. They have told the Gambian people,
because look, so many times they took principle over rewards.
Exactly. Doi people are not a kind of politician that will say, bring an orderly, open the car door for me, get me there with a briefcase like a big man. No, they wouldn't accept that. They have told the Gambian people, look, you have been suffering for so long. Why can't you reason and assess this government? They are not good for you. I remember after the election, when there was some sort of like a noise making, a group of people went to see the Jata and said, Doi people were still silent when Barrow is doing all this nonsense. You know, Syria is a very calculated politician. He stood and said, okay, fine, when did we just come out from the election? Just recently. And everybody went out to sell their agenda. You people refused to listen to them. You went and voted for the person you think. Now he's doing a poo and then urinate on your head. What do you expect them to do? Nothing.
He said that I mean, many people took offense with that, but he said it. He said, well, you know, but you know, so I've never been sentimental in one day. They always judge people according to your character and not sentimental. People have accused them that, well, they are very slow and quiet with Barrow because they don't They don't want to be seen to be strengthening UDP's hand.
No,
but they don't operate like that. They look at things and base them on the realities.
But Mr. Champ, sorry, Mr. Gassama, I think where we are at this point, you know, what Mr. Gassama is saying, is definitely he actually hit the nail. Okay, this is what. But as we all know, and I think the first coalition that happened in 2016, I don't think our folks put it properly. Yes, let's just accept the fact that from the beginning, I think the goal was we need to get Jammeh out of here. Was there any proper arrangement? With all due respect, they probably might have envisioned something else, but at the end, that was not what the Gambian people were expecting, especially with the type of leadership that we have, with the type of knowledge, you know, because I could remember, and I think with the current president, Mr. Barrow, he definitely look at everything like, oh, okay, you know, I try to offer Mr. Salah a position. He back up. Mr. Jatta, he back up. And I think if some of these our leaders would have actually hold on and says, okay, we know what is our mission here. Coalition. We are here temporarily to put things in place. We create a level playground. After the 3 years, the agreement is. Then we move. But you know what? When they left everything with Barrow, then he feel like, now, you know what? I got this. They all leave me alone, because we could have something in place where it will not be easy to fire or to get rid of these main coalition members. Because you know what? Those people contributed for that government, for this government to be in place, for Barrow to be in place. So there should have been some kind of agreement on positions, on where they are holding, to make sure that
they did make
this
something.
have been.
They said half of the cabinet will be technocrats and half another half politicians.
That could have been.
Sorry,
Yes.
you know, this coalition 2016, they have a clear, coherent mode of operation. That was clear, is there. There's no ambiguity about it. Barrow wouldn't have executive power to be firing ministers and stuff. Any missing minister, whatever may be wrong about you, you'll face a committee that will investigate this and look at it. That's why a reform, there will be like a committee. But the model, you know, the model that they drafted, that the coalition government should work on, all the parties signed it. When they put it to the UDP, they said they're not going to sign it, because where have we seen an executive president without executive power? I wouldn't be a minister as part of a coalition under somebody who has an executive power. He'll fire me. And then that will defeat the whole purpose of the coalition. It doesn't make sense. No, because if they stick to the agreement, look, you are an executive, you are a president. 3 years, you can voluntarily resign, whether if you die or not, or sick or incapable of running the country. But you should resign as part of the agreement. It's there. Now, this is how the government will work. You don't have the executive power, even though they are saying it's in the constitution, to be firing Cham as a minister, and then you as a minister. No, it has to face the committee, which is part of the coalition agreement. But if the other party break around and said, no, we're not going to accept that, where have you seen a coalition, where have you seen an executive president that wouldn't have executive power? I'll say, hold on, if I come out there, you, as part of the agreement, you have break that. You fire me.
I mean,
well, so this is why the coalition doesn't work.
Yeah, it's
basically, you know, people campaign on promises.
That's right.
The law aside, your promises makes people to vote for you.
That's right.
You can say something outside the law, people still believe.
Well,
it will only the practicalizing that you will know that, well, you have promised this, but it's not possible.
Yeah.
But apart from the fact that the UDP may have emboldened Barrow to aspire or to abandon the principles of the coalition, but is it not his responsibility also, as the head of the coalition, to respect the promise?
Of course.
Well, that's
you can't blame
no. Okay, my position is sorry. This is two things here. These are two things here. Barrow on his own, he should have the principle and the moral cloud to say, of course, I've made an agreement with these people and I have to honor it. UDP have nothing to do with Barrow in that aspect. Yes, individual. No, I understand that. But my problem was where UDP sided with somebody who is betraying your fellow coalition and you agree on that, that is a problem. Because you are part of it. If we are part of the same group, Cham, and then we all agree on something.
Let's move ahead now. You are saying that this will cost UDP, in terms of its future negotiations with other.
Exactly, because people eyes are open, they have memories. Okay, if I can have it, UDP could have said yes. Although we made some mistakes, we accepted, we take the full responsibility on that. But the current situation in the country, we can go out to the Gambian people. If they, even if they don't vote for us, let them make sure that they change this government and get him out. Because people will start saying, hold on, they are not in the equation. They're saying, even if you don't vote for them, which means that they're not looking at their own head. That is the strategy they could do. They can talk to these people, look, let us come and negotiate. We have the number. There's no doubt about it. UDP have the largest number in terms of the opposition. Whatever they are calling it, coalition or alliance, they can convince other parties on side. We know what has happened. Those were mistakes, we admitted them, and then but we want us to have a new playing field. You understand?
So it's the UDP that has work to do in convincing.
Exactly, because other political parties, they have nothing to lose because they know that they are not winning. If I form a party, probably Cham or maybe Sawaneh can sympathize with
it. In the water
exactly.
UDP, but they cannot
but
win.
for UDP, that is very much closer to State House than any of these.
So therefore, I mean, comments from UDP members who say, "Well, we can do it alone. That's not feasible."
If they can do it alone, they would have done it. Because if you have a stream, you go to the well. You cannot pull water by yourself. You are still there, looking, fetching water. And Cham come and said, I've got about 5 meters, I can add it to yours. You are able to fetch water. Are you going to discount Cham?
So you mean it is really the UDP's responsibility now?
It is their responsibility to reach out
to these people.
All of them. And then sit down. And then try to convince them. Politics is all about selling your idea, convince your fellow to sell them, look, this is a country that is at stake. We need to come together because another 5 years could be a disaster for all of us and to our poor people on the ground. We're not looking at us as a party. To the whole country, look, let's come together and then this is what we believe. We can tell us what you want. What is your idea? What do you think our coalition or alliance will be? And then you listen to them. When they come, you all sit together, iron it out, and then have a united front, and Barrow is a goner.
Well, no, it's not easy. Well, the politicians will say that. Well, I really hope
it's not difficult to negotiate with people.
It's not easy.
But so Mr. Chan, just quickly, I mean, just with what you see the reason why, in my case, I really try to kind of avoid, when it comes to the blame part of each individual political party when those negotiations were happening during that time, because just because the situation we were as Gambians when the coalition was coming 2016 until 2017 when the new government comes in place. We all know how difficult it was at that point. But as Mr. Gassama is saying here right now about what we need to do moving forward. So moving forward, it's pretty simple. UDP being the larger, they're going to be the reach out. They're going to reach out. However strategy they're going to come up with that, it's definitely going to need to be strategized and then make sure that it takes place. There's a lot of noise, but we know at the end of the day which directions this gonna head and which are the two big fish that will actually pull this off. And I know the current government and sometimes when you look at it, Mr. Cham, I mean, this is Barrow has been there the first time, this is the second time ruling as a NPP ruling party, am I right? So I think he has actually be in control. We can still go back to how everything happens in 2016, 2017. But at this moment, it's really to a point where he has been in charge for the two terms that he has been in office with his cabinet, and all executive control orders and everything has been completely his responsibility. So I think at this point we're probably just gonna, yes, you know, mistakes happens, things happens during that time. And this was a learning process for all Gambians, for all the opposition, for all the political party. But I think at this point now, I think it has come to a point once where Gambians have realized, and they have tested this government, they have given them the opportunity, and you know, so at this point it's really to just.
So if I understand your point of view, the two of you, is that you believe that logically. Because the UDP is the biggest party, you think, as happened in other cases, the smaller ones should come and join the UDP.
Yeah, but they have to put in some work. UDP have to put in a lot of work.
He's trying to say that what may make that difficult is that the UDP will have to convince the people.
Exactly.
That what we did under the other coalition was a mistake.
Yep. That's right.
This one coming,
we're
going to do the things differently.
Where a better discussion should be in place.
Will you argue that even after that, the NPP still enjoys a greater support?
I don't think so, because the way
the NPP said, well, from what they have done in this last 5 years alone, strengthen their record and acceptance that they are not afraid of any coalition. They have the numbers. Anyway.
The NPP as a party, the one in government, is governed by various cluster of parties that are attached to them. Because you can understand some of those parties, they're not even a party, they're not even a club. Because they don't even have a number. Now the problem is, NPP as a government wouldn't say that, okay, we are afraid we will be defeated and then stop.
They are not afraid of hate.
Yes, they will always say that. But I believe, with what is going on in the Gambia, the level of corruption, poverty, insecurity, Gambians I can see ordinary Gambians, they lose even faith in this politics and stuff. They feel that whoever is in power is not going to be.
So that's where it will lead to.
No, but again, now that's why you see the way Jammeh was defeated. People went to an extent. They were able to see a united front.
That galvanized.
Yes, that galvanized people. People said, yes, I think we can see it coming. And now you have given people hope. And it happens. The same thing can happen on the Barrow. On the Barrow, you look at the audit report, millions and billions were missing. They were embezzled for no reason. So Barrow himself, I believe, he's cornered with those kind of things, his record. But some of the cronies around his government will say it, we are not afraid of anything because they are there for their own pocket, their own interest. They have to fight for their political survival. But I believe if the opposition comes together, UDP lead or whoever lead, with a campaign, Barrow will be defeated. I assure you that. Because Barrow doesn't have, if you look at, we don't have that argument to say that Barrow, okay, how much do we sell bag of rice? When you were in power, how much was bag of rice? But now, what are the commodities? Cement and many other things. People are waiting for oppositions to unite to become one, and you will see a kind of galvanized, even more than 2016 one. Because even some of the supporters of Barrow, you can see they are on the balance. They're feeling the pinch. They know that the country is hard, the economy is suffering. Barrow have no understanding or vision about this country. He doesn't even know how to run this country. But people are able to convince him that, to tell him that, oh yes, if you go to Brufut, what you've done there is a Dubai. They give him these words, and then he said, it's okay. Barrow himself said that corruption is as old as mankind, which means that you are endorsing corruption. That's why he was able to go harder on the guy who is from the audit. So he tried to get them out. Barrow know that he's cornered. I believe personally, Barrow wants to go. But I spoke to somebody, he said what he was able to gather from Barrow's explanation was, he's dealing with the kind of people who will never get tired of pursuing him. That is UDP. He said, no matter how long it takes, when he get defeated, they will try him, possibly bankrupt him. So he's so scared about that. So it means that there is no exit strategy.
But he said his party is young.
No. But why did he took that journalist to court for exposing that he wants to select Mohammed Jah to lead his coalition? And then it was something true. And now they are
How do
rumoring.
you know it's true?
You know why? If it is not true, I am looking at your reaction. Why do I need to take Lamin Cham as a journalist to court for the information? He told the Gambian people.
Because he felt that the information is damaging to the party's unity.
No, it's not damaging. If it is not true, just come out and say it's not true.
There
Like you are
must be
saying,
some kind of
there is something there.
They said it's not true. But anyway,
Yes.
that matter has been resolved out of court. And,
So what we can do as a Gambian, let Barrow cannot
Yeah.
be given another 5 years because it's not good for the country.
okay.
But
all right.
as Mr. Cham said, just quickly, Mr.
Yeah.
Cham, just a quick statement. I don't think we should underestimate by any chance.
Yeah.
You know, I can,
NPP.
yeah.
Because
I know, Mr. Gassama, what we are talking about, you know, what we see happening right now, the way we felt, the way the suffering from our people, the living, we know, but the way the politics happens in this place, trust me,
It's not issue
you know,
based.
they should be taking the glove out and then really go back to 2016, how all Gambians were on board to move this together. If not, it's gonna be, it's not a play because of the resources.
After all, they got the momentum. They won 2 by-elections in the council election.
You know, I don't count some of all those things as the political success.
Fought for their land.
Yeah, but if you can go to the places like Maxembe and spend about 5 million in a very
But who said it's not 5 million?
no, but the by-election in Maxembe.
Yes, who said it's
Yeah,
not 5
they
million?
spend more than that. We know that this government it works. But the issue is, if the coalition comes together, they need to have a campaign strategy. You know, you don't go to the campaign and they organize a very big rally.
You
where
don't
they
say
are
what
doing-
happened in Kayaf. They managed to get their seat back.
Yeah,
And
but
in Fonyi particularly, where we told the APRC no to coalition, is dominance.
But I think it was a mistake for UDP to get married into James guy. To be honest, I was holding myself. I said, hold on. So do I need to be involved in politics? No permanent friend, no permanent enemy. No.
When you sympathized with
Yes,
the
endorse the
Alliance,
not alliance.
they shouldn't have done that.
Well, if you go to the political theory, no permanent friend, no permanent enemy, but there should be political principle.
Which politicians have principles now?
Well, that's what we need
Only few, only
That's what we need to establish.
The Doni has.
What they should have done is to take a neutral ground, even if they're gonna do the support underneath. That's fine, fair enough.
But they shouldn't come in public and...
Yes, exactly. What is that message sending to the people that suffer under Jammeh? Oh yeah, that's fine. Don't worry, that is past. You're suffering. We have gone.
Do you think the UDP's association with the candidate made him lose?
No, not necessarily. But I found it very funny looking at what happened.
Is it
within
not that
UDP.
the NPP is making inroads in Fonyi?
I tell you, they spend money. They go and then get people.
There's only money. They could have won the hearts of people. They did development.
No, what development?
Well, it's in Fonyi. In fact, the president said
What?
he did more for Fonyi than Jammeh did.
Yankuba Dabo of the Rikama Area Council did more for the people of Fonyi than Barrow.
Okay, but Barrow said he did more for Fonyi than Jammeh.
No.
What he said?
Well, you could have asked him, what did you do for the people of Fonyi?
Well,
Did their life
They're
change?
making roads and they're making...
What roads? Which roads?
In Fonyi. So you haven't been there.
But again, looking at the ordinary life of the Fonyinka people, Yankuba Dabo from the Birikama Area Council,
Council?
yes, was able to get their money back to them to have development for them.
They gave each wards...
And development that is very sustainable.
It is.
And the scholarship for their kids.
Yeah.
That was commendable because if you look at Bantanjang, well, not only Bantanjang, but the ward, the policy of giving wards millions to develop themselves.
I met somebody from Fonyi and belongs to APRC. Told me they were surprised. A UDP chairman,
Yes.
a UDP that was there before, chairman, was able to do more
It's
development.
commendable because it
Than even the current government.
certainly brings development and ownership
Because,
to the doorstep of the people. I
Yeah.
remember there was a Ghanaian government, which the Ghanaian political party, which promised that when they come into power, they are going to allocate $1 million for each constituency. And they will leave that with the MP and the ward councillors to implement that. For example, if you have to give Janjambore $1 million and said, look, use this 1 million exclusively for projects in Janjambari. Come on, that would go a long way.
These are the people that are close.
Direct development.
They are the ones that are closer to the people. Yes.
It's a community sustainable development.
Yes.
Because Yankuba makes sure that he adhere to the law that says that 60% of the taxes you collect from people should go back.
And the
That's why
policy that $1 million to $1 million to a wall is definitely.
looking at the council within the area council.
It's great.
If you look at Bantanjang, for example, it's very small. I mean, if you, I mean, the total number of people who vote, who are unregistered there is 1,726. 1726. So 1,726. You find out that if you put even those who didn't vote, you can't get up to 5,000 people.
Exactly.
If you give them $1 million to manage properly, come on, they should be able to.
And these imports are very important because this go directly. You know, yes. And you know, for me, as a government, I think the government should really support this, the local, because you know, sometimes our people don't feel the impact. Because our people, the local people, they don't feel impact.
Yeah,
exactly.
If I go to Chamwe right now, the gardeners, how are those people gonna even feel and trust in the government if they are not getting any support from their own? So these things needs to go to them.
And the government,
you know, so and I think the government is so
Dalaba Estate. They had a meeting. They acknowledged that Yankuba, the Kama area council, approached them in terms of their waste management because it's their responsibility. If you have a serious leadership that cares about the community, this is what you do. You approach the community. Yankuba did that, which means that he has the heart of the interest of the.
In the games, recently they started a $300 million road project,
which is good.
Which is good,
and it should be
300 million. Then they say the governments have blocked them from doing, but they've never taken the. They've been taking the money to their own.
Mr. Cham,
it's their responsibility.
Yeah.
But the reason why government wants to take credit go there because they use for political reasons.
I mean, politics have really mixed up so many things. I mean, the collaboration and partnership that should have existed between the councils and the central government, we understand, have been marred by politics because most of the important councils are controlled by the opposition.
But Mr. Cham, this is what it is. If let's say you have an ambulance living in a area where they get somebody who is sick, need an emergency, have a road condition that is really horrible, you know, then you have a municipality that actually decided to invest into that, and that ambulance get there and save that life. This is good thing. And even people driving on that road, guess what? Probably they are not even gonna think about the municipality. They're thinking about the current government in place. Trust me, they think about the council government in place.
The council should not be blocked.
No, they should not.
Government,
they should not.
Because we share the same different political parties. I understand there are certain things that you need guidance from government institutions in order to have them effectively.
And Mr. Cham,
that's true. But politics should not have been really a reason why any one of these should block each other.
These infrastructures will stay in place. It's gonna save lives. It's gonna improve for the same people. So you know, definitely complementing the other one will definitely makes a lot of sense than even let's say politically for the government, and that will be the sitting government in place. So definitely,
my people from the diaspora, we can never exhaust the issues. You know. But I hope, of course, your contributions really have gone down to the heart of the issues following, I mean, before us now, whether in terms of politics or in terms of economic. I'm very grateful to my guest, Sarjo Gassama, a Gambian diaspora in the United Kingdom, and Yankuba Sawaneh, who is from Chamwe and now living in the United States. Thank you, gentlemen.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. Thank you very much, Mr.
We will be back next week, inshallah. Thank you for now.
Looking for the perfect home away from home in the Gambia? Welcome to BC's Residence, your ideal short-stay apartment in the heart of Bundung. Whether you're visiting for business, pleasure, or an extended stay, BC's Residence offers you the comfort, convenience, and privacy you deserve. Enjoy spacious, well-appointed accommodations in a peaceful neighborhood just behind Nusrat High School. Our residence combines modern amenities with authentic Gambian hospitality, ensuring your stay is both comfortable and memorable. At BC's Residence, you are not just booking a room, you're finding your perfect base to explore all that the Gambia has to offer. Ready to book your stay? Contact us today. +220-941414 bcsresidence@gmail.com. BC's Residence, Bundum, behind Nusrat High School. Your comfort is our priority.
Traveling has never been this simple in the Gambia. Oh yes, you don't need to visit the GTSA depot just to get a ticket. Just download the Yona Wallet app today and enjoy hassle-free bookings. With Yona Wallet, you can buy your GTSC bus ticket right from your phone, anytime, anywhere. From Kanifing to Dakar, Dakar to Banjul, or upcountry routes like Kanifing to Basse and Basse to Banjul, Yona Wallet has you covered. No queues, no stress. Just safe, fast, and convenient ticketing at your fingertips. Choose comfort. Choose convenience. Choose GTSC with Yona Wallet. Yona Wallet. Your money, your way. GTSC. Moving the nation forward. For more information, please call 1124 or 221-1668.
Jamano Money Transfer Bureau de Change, your go-to option when it comes to money transfer. With Jamano, you can send money from anywhere in the world to your family and loved ones in the Gambia and be sure the funds will be delivered to them within the shortest time possible. For your convenience, funds sent through Jamano Money Transfer can be picked from all the banks and multiple other financial institutions, including Ajib Bank, Trust Bank, GT Bank, Mega Bank, Basic Bank, Reliance Financial Services, and Approved Services. Visit our head office at Bruceby opposite AfricMed next to Trust Bank Limited or email us at info@jamanomt.com. You can as well call us on 310-3050 or 310-3051 or yet still 733-0688. Our opening hours are 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday to Saturday and 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Sunday. Jamano Money Transfer, your most trusted money transfer service where customer satisfaction is paramount. When you think of a simple, fast, and reliable money transfer, think Jamano Money Transfer.
I get it. Albaka. Yo, nga transfer la sto.
Ya transfer la sto.
Ha, code nyenje.
Okay.
Nsila ID soto.
Ha, sa soto.
Sorry. I got it.
Bijan bro.
Alba.
Mbaka.
Bara Allah service o tariya.
Bare
Mo ki janna nun kunu bara tariya.
Jannom yona forest de bureau. Gambia tonkon na no mbari ya bere. Birim koyna fo kato.
Bari si kodo kino kato nim fo bolong blabe to.
56 branches mola sota Gambia jam. Gambia kono ani Gambia bantala bankol. Nka kono kiya bere to. Kodo sifa fo falindiro fo nyaadi lafta même na kodi to poto nim kodi maraw jannam number 1 di nyonta andum fana nata anoda enterprise sotale wala nyindi ko domorol fana kol fana be firale de dadi mani domorol di fana beteata Gambia dawda yalo ngam fa kendol sotale je
wo moyo diat
apelenta
ni wo ka ni lafta nyelen kendol e binaji
yalo bu kanina ko la baraka ba
yalo ndel chosano lo
abaraka